Uh-oh. You guys getting a reload?
Nope.
I'm getting a reload.
I have that problem when I'm trying to follow people and they have different dice speed than me.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh,
It's
you know
nothing
what? I
worse.
was on
Not
follow too.
do not zoom in for the dice rolls. You just sort of watch from above the 10,000 feet bird's eye view as the number just ticks down.
Got it.
Okay, let's see. 6 fighters.
So hold
And,
on. So what he wants to do is he wants the can opener Archangel so that all those tanks can get into Moscow. Do you see that?
What do you mean? There is no can opener here.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Burn order.
No
Burn
problem.
order.
Okay, let's see.
Hold on,
It's a
guys.
fun
I gotta
idea,
go back.
but it doesn't work
I
that
gotta
way.
go back to. I gotta go back to the main menu and come back in because when I joined after the reload, it gave me a black screen.
Okay.
Well, if you quit, you're not going to be able to get back in.
I'm not gonna quit. Oh shoot! It still got me a black screen. I got all the UI. I've got all the UI showing, but the screen itself is black.
I think you can just close and reopen the program, and it should work like fun, just normal.
Yeah, let me try that.
Exciting.
Pause the video because that's gonna look stupid.
You can just edit it out in post.
But that means extra work.
Not much extra work.
Steam Cloud.
I might need
No,
to
I
do
got
some
I got
editing
Adobe
just
I
to
got
get
Adobe
Japan's turn
Premiere.
shorter.
My company bought the whole Adobe Creative Suite thing for me. I got like Photoshop, Illustrator, all these crazy things. All right, let's get
Encore,
back in.
Dreamweaver.
Yeah, it's all there.
It's all. We got it all. No one knows how to use it, but we got it.
Yeah, right. I barely know how to use Premiere. Thank God for YouTube though on videos on how to do stuff these days. I can't imagine how our grandfathers lived life without YouTube.
Well, in a lot of ways, it's made like for video editing, it's made those colleges irrelevant. You used to pay a lot of money to go to college to learn how to do those crazy editing systems.
Dude, I'm so old. I used to edit with actual audio, physical audio tape and videotape and film. We used to splice it and cut it and splice it. That's how we would edit.
Yeah, 1/4-inch tape.
Yeah, I went to school for that. Okay.
Okay.
I think you keep your fighters on offense.
Me?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Wait, is that from Benny Hill? That's Benny Hill, right?
Do I know Benny Hill?
From it. You know that guy.
I need more pieces. But I can't afford them because he bombed me so hard.
Did you get my correspondence, Frisky?
Which one? Oh.
I'll be right back.
No, it doesn't work.
If you position your fighters correctly, that might work out okay.
No, it not yet at least.
No, but.
I am so boned, it's not even funny. Because that US fleet is just so
ugly.
If it wasn't for that cruiser, you could never move there. It's a real shame that battleship missed three times in a row. Because him moving there keeps me from clearing Egypt comfortably because I can't land any planes in Libya or US is just going to kill them and say that's a good battle. So I can't actually attack Egypt the way I want to. I could take my tank, but or I could do, 2/2s and a fighter, which still ain't great. But I can't take any planes from the mainland.
There's no targets for your Air Force right here.
And meanwhile, I've got my purchases completely cucked.
The only target you have right now, really, I mean, your only real semblance in North Africa is retaking Egypt. Killing off.
So I think I keep the tank alive for one more turn, or it doesn't even matter because US is going to kill it anyway, just because it's a more profitable target. So I think I lose all of Africa this turn. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I want to go for that fleet, but I feel like, if I lose that the way I should, then the game's over, and I don't think we've necessarily lost this.
Well, the thing is, though, that if the only way he's going to get your tank in Libya is if he takes.
He'd bring the U.S. He's taking at least one U.S. transport east. You can count on that.
Yeah, but that's a terrible profit.
Clears one more tank off the board, gets another IPC, still has 2 units that he could ferry over to Southern Europe next turn without having to waste another transport going to Morocco. I don't think it's necessarily a bad trade. Oops. We should probably take at least one ground unit to Ukraine, huh? It's probably the proper way of things.
Okay.
Can hear you now. Now I
So
get
he is going for 13.
Nice.
Should I drop an anti-air gun in Ukraine? I mean, if I got... I don't think I'm realistically threatening to take West Russia right now, so dropping an anti-air gun there is just a waste. But I think we do have to vacate France.
Yeah, when you vacate Karelia for temporarily, you have to vacate France too,
Well,
because everything else has to go forward.
I gotta
So
leave
you have to
France
shift.
anyway, because he's got 6, 7, 8, 9 transports that can drop on West Coast right now, and that's just not great. But none of those U.S. transports can get to Germany, so I can basically leave that completely undefended and not have any fears.
Mm.
Two, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, his U.S. fighters are out of position to attack Italy, so he won't be able to take that either. Although, since my production in Germany stunted, I will leave 1 infantry back. Who knows? He might go for it.
Well, Japan's grabbing 7 territories this turn, so
Oh yeah, Japan's going to have a very fun, happy game. Germany's just doing the whole let's try not to die exercise.
that's generally what happens in a KGF.
I'll let you know how it goes.
All right, here we go.
All right, so I think I'm going to dump into France. You can get started on Finland
Yep.
because
Yep. I like that. Now, what do you think about Egypt?
I think
I hate using the tanks there because they're out of range of stuff. And
no,
I'm
I
definitely
think you can use the tanks. Yeah, you wanna be
Tank?
crushing India. You can use 2 tanks, I think,
Okay.
because you do want to
Wait,
be
you want?
crushing. You can.
I think it's already
And,
crushing India.
and so let's see. I'm probably gonna be able to hold. Well, am I gonna
Yeah,
be able to hold West Russia?
I could send you, as long as your bomber profile is right, I could send you the bomber and 5 fighters.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. You can I think you can use like one plane, one fighter in Egypt, just to try to make it extra crushing, and then the rest go to West Russia, I think.
I think the
Or
bomber in Egypt would be enough.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
I would rather
Good.
lock
Yeah.
down West Russia.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so 10 infantry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll give him something to think about over here.
Wait, what?
Oh, hold on. Wait a sec. Let's think about this.
That's dead zone
If
your
he has,
shit. I mean,
because he has 10 transports.
just let him lock it in.
No, wait. He has 10 transports. He has 10 transports and
He has 5
1, 2,
transports.
yeah, 5 transports, sorry.
Well,
But 10
I think he
units.
meant 10 units, yeah.
Yeah, and then 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then the bomber in Berlin.
So your
Yeah, that's
ally
not
has
a
seen it
stack you
for
can
you,
hold.
but Burma is dead
thing is-
zone to absolute shit. If you move there,
The thing
you
is,
will
Dolphin,
lose everything you
you
put
guys-
there.
Gentlemen, I wasn't actually going to do it. I was
Oh,
something
okay,
to
oh.
think about. Let's get
Oh,
into something to
okay.
think about.
He's
Yeah,
a jokester, this Jake character. You funny Canadian.
You had Dolphin sweating there. He's like, oh god,
He
please,
was.
no, please, no.
I just started giggling. I'm sorry, it just came natural.
I could hear his butt clench. And we're about 2,500 miles away from each other.
That's just a good point. Where are you guys all located? I know Kent's in Seattle. I'm in Rochester, New York.
Hold on 1 second. Do you think I should keep a fighter to trade Burma?
Yeah, go ahead. I think 1 fighter. Trade Burma. That's good.
12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 16, 17, 24. There's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 units that could get to West Russia.
Let me see.
12, 13,
29.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, plus my 4 would be 27, plus your Moscow units. I think you got it like that.
Yeah, but then it's a little bit like if he stacks Kazakh, then it's a little bit like if he stacks Kazakh, it's a problem.
Well, maybe the Indian infantry can give him something to think about. I could pull the artillery and a couple infantry back to Persia.
Yeah, I like that, Frisky. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you could do that. You should post some stuff to Persia, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, not yet. I say not yet. I say one more turn.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Come on, boys,
Well,
fight, you
I gotta
German
move
pieces
first
of
anyway, no
coward.
matter what we do.
Ooh. Oh, come on, fellas.
Hey,
That's
come
not
on,
gonna
boys.
do it.
Oh, yes. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now it's even.
That's not gonna do it. Couldn't even clear it. Come on, fellas.
Yes! Yes! Come on!
You don't deserve
on.
Egypt. You got it. Andy.
Yes!
Oh! Shit.
Alamein! Ramo!
I
Figured it
feel
was number
personally
13.
victimized by this game.
Should be. You should be.
Oh, please. That was totally reasonable.
Woohoo!
I'm still bitter about that cruiser surviving.
I'm still bitter about turn 1, C Zone 61.
Oh, hey, wait, we lost Ukraine and 61 this game, didn't we?
Yeah.
So it
Both
deser-
Ukraine
so
and
I
Season
deserve
61.
to win. Any dice that go the other way just aren't fair. You can't just start a game off like that and say, "Oh, don't worry, you can still do this." No, not allowed. I should be taking Moscow right now. Well, it should also be round 8 by now. It's 11 o'clock.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Bomber to West Russia. And,
Yeah, it's there. Do
Yeah.
you want?
yeah, you
would
can
need
send
Border
some.
and Caucus?
Yeah, you
Need
can
a
send
Caucus?
Caucasus? Nah, don't worry. Don't worry about
Okay.
Caucasus.
And just stay in India?
Yeah.
Okay.
Send some guys to Persia, I think.
Yeah, I'm just deciding how many. So he could have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Good.
5, 6,
That's
7,
a good
8.
question.
He could have 9, assuming he loses 1. So he'll probably have 8. And he's got transport and a couple planes in the south.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I could really do.
I mean, you probably want to keep Burma a little semi-dead zone. So maybe don't send the artillery. Send like
But the artillery is
prob
the only thing that will allow me to attack.
yeah. I mean,
Because I could dead zone
Hello?
Burma with planes. Right? I got the bomber. I could dead zone it with the bomber with infantry.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And they
You
always
can
come back.
like
Here's the thing: they could always come back. They don't.
Yeah.
Just because we're moving them doesn't mean they're stuck.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Yeah. So
So
like
2 planes, an infantry, and an artillery. What would I need to defend that? 6 units?
well, you're building 3.
Yeah, and I have the plane there, and the AA gun, and I'll set AA first.
He doesn't.
I
He
mean,
doesn't have any. He doesn't have any land units in range of India.
he has 2
He
land
actually,
units.
no. He doesn't have a transport.
Yes, he does. Down in 38.
Oh. Yeah. You're right.
I don't know what you're
So
talking
You're
about.
right.
You got to stop spreading fake news.
So I mean, he could get 1, 2. He get 2 bombards and
Yeah, you're
2
right.
planes.
2 planes.
I think 6 units should be enough.
The question is, would
No,
Roach
he
Warrior
has
would
4
Roach Warrior
planes.
make that move? Oh, it's crazy.
4 planes. I think
would-
7.
That would be
Yeah. Okay.
insane.
I think this is perfect. I think you
I think that's-
build 3 units in India, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So then
With
we'll have
AA
8
gun
units,
plus the
and
plane.
then he'll have 8 units, and even if he wants to attack, I think that'll lose a lot of planes. So that's perfectly fine. All right. And
Yeah. I'm just
okay.
seeing
Wait.
this
Let's see.
last sub. There's a sub
Yeah.
that
Yeah, you gotta send it on its way. Uh,
So
can't
nowhere.
go to. Yeah, Solomon's good.
Why is there an American carrier and destroyer in Sea Zone 22?
Because they went on a
Because I
wild
sent
adventure
it.
to Australia.
Yeah.
They went to visit the outback, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You want
Okay,
to play it
there
that
it
way,
is.
eh?
They allowed the fighters to take the scenic route to Europe rather than be useful in defending the fleet. But alas, they did need defense on the fleet.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's true. They were needed for defense on the fleet, weren't they? Basically.
You really needed those fighters with your fleet in order to play as
Yeah.
risky as you did.
Yeah.
But you got some good luck. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to be bitching about that for the next hour. And then after that, I'm going to be asleep, probably. Looks like Japan's turn.
Hmm.
Just pumping out those troops. Japan's having a pretty good day overall.
well, it tends to happen that way when all of our enemies decide to pump on you, and it's just not fair, man. It's just not fair. You only got one
What's
plane
Russia
here
doing
now.
still holding on to the entirety of the Soviet Far East?
Well, that's gonna go. That's all going away now.
I think there's biological experiments in Yakut.
Red Star.
Take the territory and your units get radiation.
I think we'll do it a different way. We'll go this way.
What?
Oh, what? I'm gonna take Madagascar instead.
No, you can take New Zealand, no problem. I'm just surprised you're taking both those. You could take just the artillery and then pick up a dude on Solomon Islands when you come back the other way.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I have another idea, but I didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, I don't know if taking Madagascar is going to be all that great,
No.
but that works.
Is that other idea Hawaii?
Oh no.
Oh no, definitely not.
No, 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 no.
What you
It's
talking
Eastern
about, like?
U.S.
By the way, I did see the video of you taking Eastern US. That was pretty good.
It's
What was
kind of
that?
his thing. It's your trademark. It's capturing Eastern U.S.
Yeah. Well, lately, yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty great.
It's pretty exciting, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Come on, you guys are trying to distract me, man. Hmm.
I'll have you know,
He does. He
he's
doesn't. He
got
doesn't have
more
any tanks.
aircraft than infantry in Western Russia right now.
I know. It's insane. He doesn't have any tanks that can reach, so they can't blitz through. So I think one-on-one here actually might be one of those TTG guy movements that actually makes sense. Because even if I don't get it, he's not going to advance any further. I should kill it.
Oh, which place you talking?
Talking about Burma. I only sent one infantry, 2 planes.
Oh, yeah, go for it. He's
If
not
he
gonna
had
blitz.
tank there, yeah, exactly. If he had a
You
tank there,
got
I'd think about.
great job of taking care of the infantry, and there's no sense in putting anything else there because he's gonna trade it back.
Agree.
I'm surprised you're taking Kazakh so heavy.
I'm trying to draw his attention away from you.
I suppose that'll do it. I'm just worried that you might lose too many pieces early, because he's really under no immediate threat from me right now. Like, because if he drags something back off the front line, he's got so many aircraft, it's not like he's sacrificing West Russia to do it. It's a very minor inconvenience for him to take 3 extra
Oh,
infantry to Kazakh for
I
one
didn't
turn.
realize he can actually hit me with that sub. I was looking at the British sub. Be a bad move.
And British sub is definitely coasting
That's
around.
the British sub. He can't
US
reach
sub
me. It's the American
is
sub I
in range
missed.
of Alaska still.
Yeah, that's what I didn't take into account.
You should consider getting one of those destroyers over there to party.
It'd be kind of fun to maybe relieve some of the pressure off of Germany. Is maybe take all these 4 transports with these 7 infantry and move a little east towards Western United States with some support. Be kind of fun.
It would
But I
slow
think-
Japan
right.
down by 2 turns and slow US down by 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. I was thinking about it.
It'd be fun.
What can we do with this guy? Nothing. Can't hit him either. Damn you, Colin.
Nope.
All right, that's it for attacks. I think that's all we can do to help out.
Awesome.
I can strap bomb Russia. What do they got? 27 a turn. Wow, that wouldn't make any sense.
Really doesn't do a whole lot.
No. Hmm.
At this point, he's got
Do you
enough
do you
escort
do you
ships.
need this bomber in Berlin still?
Not anymore. At this point, he's really got enough escort ships and fighters available that they're able to keep their fleet safe.
Agreed. That's why I asked. Unless I'm missing something, that's about all I can do. All right, go. Ooh, I win the one-on-one. Ha! Take that, bitch.
You had your foot on the scale for it, but sure, yeah.
But I lose this one, watch. Oh, okay, huh.
Bad Yakut. Chemical weapon manufacturers.
You don't deserve any of these territories, and you know it.
That's right. You hear Ukraine bombed a freaking nuclear weapon or a nuclear power plant? What are they thinking? I think Putin's lost his goddamn mind.
I heard Russia bombed it.
Yeah.
I mean, electricity is kind of a valuable commodity, wartime or no.
Well, that's true.
Being able to control who has it and who doesn't seems like a very valuable thing. And Putin's one of those people who's already been threatening using nuclear weapons, so accidentally detonating a non-weaponized nuclear reactor is probably just not something that phases him all that much.
I think because the Japanese fleet has nothing to do, I think I'm
See.
just going to keep it intact.
Now what he's going to do is he's just going to take Kazakh heavy, and you're not going to have anything to trade back with.
That's okay. I'm putting them there, though.
Okay.
Hmm. He wants to lose his planes in West Russia. Try to attack that. Might, right? Might. Let's figure this out.
I think Axis fighters are inherently more valuable than Allied ones, so anytime that there's an odds that you can just start doing one-for-one trades between planes, Allies are going to take that every time.
You can always retreat and stack, and so that actually might be well worth. That might be a worthwhile trade. I mean, 5 and 5 to kill this. I don't think that's a good idea. So, let's think about that.
Yeah, if you land all your planes there, then Kazakh's going to be Soviet by the end of Russia's turn. UK is going to take 5 fighters and a bomber. And still
Agreed.
probably not be at any risk of losing West Russia. Because Germany didn't have the logistics. They hung out in France when arguably I could have just started trading it sooner rather than try to hold on to it. But I thought I would have enough fighters in position to slow down the fleet, but he just didn't give a fuck about my fighters. It's weird. So I'm playing one turn behind as Germany right now, which ain't great. Losing everything in Africa didn't help either. Support.
Wait till U.S. gets those sweet Liberty croissants.
I don't think there's much more that I can do there.
You don't think U.S. is just going to deliberately pull all its transports out of position and go all in for Italy? They wouldn't just go to Sea Zone 8 and land both France and Northwest Europe, would they? I mean, that would just be such a stupid move. Can't see why they would do that.
So dumb.
Yeah, I don't see that in their future. That's awful. Why would they do that?
Have you had croissants?
Because then they won't be able to attack Italy anymore. All I'll do is just take all those Italian guys and put them in France instead.
Actually, you know what? All right. Well, I mean, this we have a lead. This is the good news, right?
Do we?
Really? Attack power.
I think we have a
yeah,
lead.
that's true.
If we didn't have an attack power lead, then we really fumbled somewhere. But I don't remember it.
But, well, the U.S. hasn't gone yet, so let's be fair.
Okay, let's see.
They're going to buy all infantry,
Think
so
about.
it's still going to be advantage.
So just real quick, you can take Algeria and Libya if you want. I think that income is better suited for U.S.
Yeah, I could, but I don't want to put my fleet out of position in the Mediterranean.
No, you don't have to. Just walk an infantry over.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
in the next turn you take Libya as well. I will
Yeah.
take Libya.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see.
I accept your tribute of one.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna take the Mediterranean, so that's your tribute. But let me try to calculate the transport a little bit. So I'm gonna send 2, 3 going back, 3 here, 1, 2, 2 transports. Okay, gonna have an extra one there. Put it there. Probably buy a little bit in Western USA. But how many transports do I have? 9? Should probably buy 1 transport at least. And then 2 infantry, 2 artillery. Okay, I have 1 transports. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Zimir, are we all moving faster right now?
Well, the beer is going down, so That makes
Mine's
everything
going
better.
down great. I'm on my 4th already.
Okay, just give me a second to read these transports. Annoying.
So wait, you guys didn't tell us where you guys are from, by the way. I know where Kent's from.
Oh, I'm in Chicago.
Shakey is.
So
Sorry, I
we'll
didn't hear that.
I'm in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Central Virginia.
Highest crime rate city. Oh, Central Virginia. Oh, Virginia. Well, you finally got rid of your governor. That was probably really smart.
Let's not
No,
go
I
to
think
politics.
Youngkin's still in office.
Did he stay in office? Or was it the New Jersey governor that lost?
Well, depending on who you're talking about, one governor loses every election and another one wins.
Now you're taking advantage of my drinking. No, I
Youngkin
thought
won the
that
last
Let's not go
election.
with politics.
it was
Just-
it was
just-
the
just stay away
Virginia
from-
governor that
stay away from
the
politics.
yeah,
Please.
well, yeah, maybe I should stay away from politics. You're right. Good point. Good point. As long as you like where you live.
Okay.
Virginia's a beautiful state, though. A little hilly for me, but hey, whatever.
It just depends on what part you're at. It's got a lot of different
On the
biomes.
In the western part, usually.
I heard it's for lovers.
That was the shittiest motto change I think I've ever seen.
Have you always lived there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually Canadian born. Just I moved to the United States in 1998, got married, started a family.
Virginia used to enforce a speed limit with aircraft.
Ooh.
The police had helicopters that they would fly around.
Right.
And tag vehicles with.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Tiffany
Oh.
Couples, you fucking
Bullseye.
piece of shit. Oh, you got a 5 last time and it's just going up. Oh, I did it again. I zoomed in on a thing. Oh, scared me, son.
Oh, you sent six units to Algeria. Wow. They're coming.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean,
Five-
I want to just keep.
Turns, they could do something.
Yeah, I just want to keep shucking, so I don't want to bother with them.
Also, they could deal with any
Yeah.
pesky
Yeah.
Japanese.
He'll be happy he has those 6 in Africa later. Yeah, one turn from now, they'll be dead zoning Egypt and keeping Japan from landing. Well, that's not entirely true, because now the Japanese transports are a little bit in an awkward spot again that they won't be able to threaten that.
I mean, Ken, you do know I'm coming, right? I mean, you know I'm coming, right?
Do you say that to everybody or just us?
Just you.
I said 3, 4, 5.
I mean, I'm on my way, right? But you see that I'm on my way.
Yeah, I know.
Stop playing so damn aggressively, you fucker.
Japan's lost a lot of pieces, and
I'm playing against a bunch of players on Discord.
yeah, I think losing Kazakh is going to stall the advance a lot, because that's you're not going to be able to trade that back immediately.
What the heck? I'll just put.
Letting them
These guys
counterattack
here.
Buryatia a few turns ago put Japan back a turn as well. So it's just the logistics got disrupted. I think we're back in the saddle, but the slowdown is real.
I got plenty
Okay,
of time.
so
I got plenty of time to get there. And I've got
okay, I need to survive with this.
okay, we got to watch out
So-
for the 9. Well, he's moving out of there, so now we can move those guys off for Rome. That's good. Trade. What the hell are you doing, Germany?
Waiting for my turn.
Oh man.
Okay.
Just chilling. I bite my thumb at the U.S.
So, Dolphin, you do see that Hawaii is gone, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay.
And then the next turn, you're going to have to protect Western a little bit, which means that's going to be a victory
Yeah.
city that we're never going to get back. Which means
Yeah, it's okay.
we're always going to
Um,
have to hold either India or Karelia, like indefinitely.
mhm. Yeah, that's pretty normal. So it's not like I'm going to.
Okay. Just want to make sure you don't lose Western United States the turn after.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
That would be mighty
Ah.
awkward.
Wait. I want to send a destroyer up. Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna grab myself a beer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have 4 transports, 5 transports coming down. 5 transports coming
If you
down.
have to, you can move 2 Algerians back to Morocco next turn to fill a transport.
I just want to put one in West Russia, one in Western United States since I can afford it.
He's the sergeant, the first of the wave, the first of the defenders.
Yeah.
We should name him.
Name is Bill.
It's always
G.I.
G.I.
Bill.
Joe.
San Francisco
Okay.
Bill.
So now do I want all infantry or do I want some artillery to mix
I
in
don't think
with
our
it?
artillery are doing much good at this point.
I think you want 4
Yeah.
tanks.
Because look at next turn you're
Yeah,
gonna
that's true.
next turn you're gonna
That's
only get
true.
money. You should
At this
save a
point,
dollar.
at this point, I should probably just stack. I'm trying to stack stuff.
Well, I can't take Kazakh.
No, I'll stack it. I'll stack it with some stuff, and you can take it with more. You can take it with a little more. You can put some more stuff there, but I'll stack it with some stuff at least, so I
Kazakh.
can get that income. Yeah, because I take my tanks.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's only going to cost me 3 infantry. Because I have all those planes in range.
Um,
So I could take it at a much cheaper cost than you can.
that's kind of true, but he might be able to stack it again.
You can't. There's only 1 unit in range.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
if he gets
I
really
think,
lucky, he
the
could.
tanks are more valuable in West Russia.
Just depends on whether or
Yep.
not I feel like taking those odds.
Okay, I mean let's think about this.
There's no way I would risk a Russian tank for the 2 income of Kazakh. If you're worried about the units that are there, I will take care of the units there.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to send the tanks alone. So let's see. Have
40, 15, 22, 23, 24, 25,
all that. Yeah, you help
technically
me
he can
count
get
it.
28 units. He can get 28 units to West Russia, technically.
28. Okay.
Assuming you kill the Ukrainians.
Yeah. So let's see.
And you have 11, 12, 13, 14.
12. I have 12. I have
I just don't think it's
10.
worth it. I just don't think you should take.
Yeah.
I think you should leave Kazakh for India, for UK.
For
That's just
for
my
you, huh?
opinion.
You might be right. You might be right. I just like the idea of the pressure, but
You could also
uh,
just let me keep Ukraine. I mean, that would be an option.
no. But yeah. Even if he wants to send his German fighters there, if I let him keep Kazakh, he could send his German fighters there, though.
Okay. I mean,
So let's see.
that's
We'll
super
have
silly.
a
I don't know why he would do
4,
that.
16.
I
It
mean,
is kind of silly.
if he puts the German fighters there, I'm going to have 6 planes that are going to waste it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Uh, Hold on. It depends on whether we can hold West Russia. So we have 12, we have 16, we have 10 here, 28, 28. I think we can barely hold on to West Russia. And
But why? Why make it a barely? Why not just have it in the paint?
He is relying on me not taking 60%. But after seeing some of his dice, I think 60% starting to sound pretty good. I think you're due to get real unlucky real soon.
hmm,
I mean, you're sending 9 units. I mean, I guess that does, in theory, it does give the option to swing through China and get more U.S. income back.
No, that's not going
But
to happen. What are you, crazy?
I just think that's way too many units to put in Kazakh. Keep your eye on the prize. You know, we're whittling Germany down.
Not for long. Germany's going to be making a move soon.
Germany's going to be KIE.
16, 16, and
I love the optimism from my teammate over there. Ken, did you really build a sub in C-Zone 56?
no, I sent my sub there.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I send 8 units there. I can send like the 2 here.
Oh Jesus! Oh, it's killing me.
All right. I guess I won't do it if it's killing you.
Oh, for God's sakes, just don't listen to Josh. Dick, I mean.
You're gonna feel better about this next turn because he's gonna take Vologda and Norvo, and those are the places you're gonna trade next turn.
Yeah, we do wanna make sure to try to stack West Russia if we can. Okay.
I would leave an artillery in Moscow too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was an exercise in restraint. Well done.
Yeah, it was team respect, and yeah, it is a little bit restrained. Yikes.
Persuaded him.
Yep.
On.
Okay.
I'll hit one eventually.
Okay.
You better believe I'll hit one eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now hold on. I wonder if I wonder if we can partially stack Archangel to prevent the Japanese from taking it. We have 6 guys there. He has fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4. His fighters are out of range and a bomber. So one
He's got
fighter,
two-
1
two
bomber,
tanks.
2
tanks.
planes, 2 tanks, 2 infantry, 2 artillery, 8 guys. So it would need 5 guys. It would need 8 guys at least to stack it.
If
Yeah,
you want to
that's the
take,
say.
if you want to let him take Archangel, we'll have all the UK troops to blast it back.
Yeah, don't worry. We're fine. It's like you said, we should
Keep the eye on the prize.
keep an eye on the prize.
All eyes on me.
Keep artillery in Moscow.
Gee, I wonder where those will go.
Okay.
You want
He's
to
playing
put
like
one
he
in
expects
Karelia?
to lose those 3 territories.
Oh, he knew it.
Well, he's not even trying to stop you. I think he just enjoys peeling those yellow boys off the front.
Now,
You
hold
said yellow boys. That's not cool.
Their
Actually,
color is
I said-
literally yellow. Look at them.
Now, I wonder if I should.
Bad game
I wonder if
design.
I should put more guys on
Blame Milton
Caucasus.
Bradley and Hasbro for being racist, not me.
No shit.
I mean, how many planes can reach 1, 2, 3, 4? One plane and 2 tanks can reach Moscow.
The tanks cannot reach Moscow.
Oh, you're right.
It's just that I wonder if I want to try to threaten Ukraine, but it's probably not likely. He has 22. I only have.
I mean, you threaten
only
Ukraine
cause-
from West Russia just as soon.
Yeah, but I mean putting stuff on Caucasus potentially, but
Germany will be retreating soon. They can't hold there.
Yes, they can.
yeah,
I don't
they
think they
kind of
can.
can. Anyway,
That's
I
hard
think
choice to say.
Moscow is a good place.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, there we go. Pretty good.
Strategic bombing really is a bitch.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it sucks when it goes bad.
He's only got 1 bomber, but it's done the damage of 4.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think my turn's going to be a little faster. Now, if I take a fat stack into France, he can bring 4 transports, 5 transports full of bros, 6 transports full of bros. It's actually not looking good to hold,
Mm.
in all honesty. So I think I gotta keep trading light and just keep letting him have that income. I don't feel like I can
You built
reliably...
You built 11 infantry there?
Say again?
I said you built 11 infantry there?
I did. Feel forced.
Mm.
I think we go for the Ukraine stack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm optimistic that that will push him off of West Russia. But I'm running out of pieces to move.
Nice.
The value of Germany keeping its planes. Well, I swear they do have value.
I haven't seen it this year, but last season it seemed that Axis players very early on, especially in the placement games, didn't understand that, and they would just throw their planes at the UK fleet and just die. To watch.
I mean, if UK gives you an easy cap, sure. I mean, it's very tempting to go for it. I don't think they can reasonably take Ukraine from me, even if I pull a few tanks back. Because that's what they want to do, is take France and put 2 anti-air guns on it. So I really want to
No,
have...
you're good. You're good. You're good.
I'm glad someone appreciates my greatness.
Oh. Hail to the king.
I'll keep my artillery behind.
I think his Persian boys are going to go after the Kazakh boys.
And then, yeah, he's really got no fighters on the Western Front. This is all just mass infantry with zero support of any kind, which is hilarious and tragic at the same time. I think we do that. It's kind of boring.
Not really.
I am back.
It's a KGF.
That's the cigarettes.
If I do this, I can't trade Karelia back next turn. But I guess that's, given the stack he's already got in Finland, I think that's just the reality of the situation is I can't get Karelia back anytime soon. Unless,
Right.
yeah, I think pressure
Right.
and cock is the better way to go here. I gotta pick either or, I can't have both right now.
Yes, except the theory is, and the meta is, that if you're being attacked from a Finland shuck, that the corridor you need to be protecting is the Baltic corridor. But I understand the logic behind the Ukraine stack. So I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying that in theory, and I think Kent would probably agree, and Jake would probably agree that in theory that the corridor you want to protect is the Baltic corridor into Karelia. On a Finland shuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dolphin, you with us?
I think he wants to
Yeah.
do a med check.
What are the odds of attacking Ukraine?
Let's see. 20
Not
infantry.
If I take
Not
out the
good.
Belarus, oh, I can't.
Belarus.
I can't.
What?
No, I don't think so. I think you just send every plane you have. Or you can save one for the Burma. But
Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
basically every.
and if I may interject, because this is sort of like a teaching video, I think, at least I hope so.
Mhm.
People
Mhm.
are going to watch it. Jake, that's actually a bad idea.
You mean Ukraine?
Yeah, can you say why? Do you know why? Do you understand why?
Aside from the fact
I'm
that he
just asking
loses
for the
that
math
fight.
on it. We're just asking for the math on it. That's all.
Jake,
Yeah,
you can
you can't move right now. Russia cannot move any farther west. If it does, it risks a big danger.
Yeah, but you keep talking like you're right there. You're still 3 turns away.
Oh,
By that
I'm only
time-
one turn away, son.
You're kind of
No,
three
it's
turns
okay.
away.
I think you're 3 turns away. I don't think you're 1 turn away at all.
From taking Russia?
From
Sure,
threatening
of course.
Moscow, yeah. Because
And that's
that's
3
really the
turns of
only
Russian
important
infantry.
province to Russia right now.
Oh, okay. That's the way you guys want to think about it.
The
It's fine.
the real question is whether I can take Ukraine after. Yeah, send all your infantry there. You wanna stack it and hold it. Try to hold it.
Well,
You-
we have to
you
be
have-
wary of we have to be wary of India as well.
India.
So there's a math puzzle here.
I think with your build and with all the fighters we have available, I think it's fine. And are you gonna send your tank back? You can probably afford to send your tank back, right?
I was
What?
debating whether to send it back or the blitz it through and not copy it. I don't know. Do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I mean send it back to Persia. That's what I meant.
Oh, I was talking about the Finland tank. You're talking about that. Yeah, I don't know where he's. Yeah, he'll go to Persia.
So then, the
So
question.
What I want to do
Mhm.
is I want to abandon Sea Zone 3, but you have a transport there.
Yeah.
I would like to dump everything into France or Northwestern with all the stuff that you dump into France or Northwestern. Then suddenly Germany, if to trade that is an extremely expensive trade, and there will be no more units going forward. All the units will be going west.
No,
instead of east.
I think you can. I think you should you can use a cruiser and a fighter and a single transport to trade Northwest Europe, and you can even maybe put an AA gun in Northwest Europe after you've traded it. But keep the Finland chuck going. We need to be supplying units north.
See, here's where we're having a difference of philosophy. I think if we dump everything into France or Northwestern, then Germany will send no more units east. They will have to come back west because we'll be dumping 20 units a turn.
UK can only produce at most 8.
That's right. With the American 12, that's 20.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if he can stack one and trade the other, then he's fine. And I think he's going to be able to do that. I think it's a waste. I think we keep the Finland chuck going. That northern pressure is a very important investment. What I'm thinking is, I'm thinking whether we should really stack Caucasus here or even West Russia. Because the question is whether those Japanese fighters can defend Caucasus sufficiently. Because if we stack West Russia and we just make sure Caucasus is dead zoned, so that's my
Will it be
question
dead
here.
zone? Because you'll need your Moscow units to kill the Japanese from avenging.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know, but I mean, you're gonna have to decide about West Russia now. In my turn because of my planes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you just send them to Caucasus. Yeah, but I really recommend we don't go heavy in Western Europe. We trade it, of course. You trade Denmark. I'll trade France. And I
we should
think
go heavy.
no,
We could put
I
8, 6.
Well, while you guys are
I mean,
debating, I'm going to hit the
we could put
bathroom.
like 18 units there now. He only has 19 infantry. He's gonna have to send. My point is, if
Yeah.
we keep blasting France, there will be no more Germans going east.
He only really needs to stack one of them, and let's see. Let's see.
He won't be able to stack because to take it down is going to cost so many units of it, right? It's got 7 planes, yes.
Hmm.
It's a war of
Potential.
attrition. That we have to put 16 units at time, basically. And he's going to win the economic battle each time, but we have more than he does. Especially if we drop 1 A gun each time. That makes it a little fun.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Well, I'll follow your lead. You're UK. You can decide.
All right, it's going
Go
to
for
cost
it.
you a transport. Is that okay?
It's not going to cost me transport because the Japanese bomber is in Yunnan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not going to cost me transport.
Okay. I think this is going to be good.
Okay.
All right, time's up. Time to lock it in.
Lock it in.
Yeah. Lock it
Is that your final answer?
in. So you can like you're gonna stack Denmark, right? I think you're the one who can stack Denmark.
All right, I'm getting some weird bud with these
Oh
transports.
man, it is way past my bedtime.
You probably only need to send 3 transports, so 6 infantry, and then the last transport can do the infantry and artillery in non-combat.
No, I think there's a legit bug. It's showing me the option to load your transports.
What?
Yeah, it's showing
That's
me the
weird.
option to load the
Yeah,
US.
yeah. Don't load 7 infantry.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
you.
only load 6. And probably don't move the 4th transport. I don't know if you can load it again if you move the transport now. Yeah, so 3 transports. And 3 transports, 6 infantry, and a plane and a cruiser bombardment. Yeah,
Okay, that feels pretty good.
that feels good.
So, okay, let me get this straight. You guys opted to take Karelia, avoid France, which would have given you 9 victory cities.
No, we're gonna hit France on the next the next turn. On my turn, we're gonna hit France.
Well, so we convinced you to drop Europe heavy.
Yep.
That must have been some real sweet talking. I'm sorry I missed it.
That's fine.
Dice, 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 dice.
How many nices? Oh, he gets on both. Ah, you
No
loser.
counter. Delicious.
Loser.
This ain't going so hot, man.
Not going good.
Because we have 0 threat on Africa still.
Okay, every plane to India, or do you want to try and hold Caucasus?
Try and hold Caucasus.
Quick India math 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Do you think you can hold Caucasus?
Actually, I think I think India will fall if I don't put all the planes there.
Wait, really?
He's got
Oh,
5
hold on.
transports that can reach it.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Oh,
12 units
He's-
plus the bombard.
Oh,
Ah, God
yeah.
damn it, I forgot Western Australia.
I wasn't even looking in that direction. What are you guys talking about? Just defend Caucasus.
You should
Hold
definitely
on.
all Caucasus.
Let's see. Hold on.
That's Blitz.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the AA gun too.
Yeah, here's the thing though, with Caucasus, we have to make a choice, I think, because India is not super safe. 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 units can get India. And I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 only.
Okay, so how about bomber to India and 2 planes India, 2 planes Caucasus.
6, 7, 8, 11, 12. It's still tight.
No tied?
I wonder if he'll go for it.
It might. We're in desperation mode now.
Are we?
Close.
I mean, we do need to defend Caucasus as well.
I'm really not sure you do. I think you should just give it to me. I mean, it's better in Germany's hands
I
than
think-
Japan's, right?
With the American fighters,
That's true. That is a good point.
I think you have Caucasus with the American fighters, don't you?
Let me see. The American fighters, I have 20, 25. Yeah. I mean, it does require me maybe to not, be careful around Japan. Oh, hold on. Look, he has only seven land units actually. See, 7 land units because that's an AA gun there. 7 land units and 5 planes, so he has 12. He has only 12. 12 plus
Only 12?
Plus the
5,
bombard.
12, 6. I really think you can put 4 planes in Caucasus.
No. Really?
Yeah, yeah. Because, don't you think so?
No, I think he's got. Guy loves India. He buys
Hold
so
on.
much
What? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 planes and 7 land units, right?
Now he's just metagaming. That's what you get for being a YouTuber.
Sorry about that.
Let's see. You have three going into India.
Plus,
Oh no, wait. Maybe you wanna put 8 units in London, don't you? Well.
no, not this turn. Next turn I will.
Let's see. If you
He could get 32 to cock. You're going to have 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, plus the 4 that you build. I think you got it.
yeah, but what about Japan trading?
Well, you're going to have to delay that a turn.
Uh-huh.
I mean, with UK, I could do 1 or I don't know. You know what? I convinced you on Europe, so you go ahead and decide. You decide the fate of this last plane. Could be critically important.
Okay. Let's see.
Egypt.
Let me count again. 1, 5 plus 7. 7 land units. 1, 2,
Oh shit!
2. And then
I
2
don't like the way
bombards.
this game is shaping up. You guys are
6,
acting a little too cocky, if you ask me.
I say put it in Caucasus.
All right. If India falls, it is your fault.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We got this.
Just waiting for that. I told you so.
I mean, it's so tempting.
It's not
The
tempting.
the I told you so bug.
Why is that tempting? That's 15 units I gotta kill with 7 infantry and planes and battleship and a
We're
cruiser.
not talking about that. We're talking about how tempting it is to say I told you so.
Oh,
Right now, India is a terrible idea.
yeah.
It's going to completely pull your transports out of position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it was a good idea if they didn't put their planes there and he forgot about it. Because I was thinking about it, I'll be honest. But, yeah, not good.
I mean, that gives
They
us
have
another
an
turn of
overabundance of
African
planes
safety.
right now.
That's the problem.
And you know why they have planes? Because he didn't want to build a fleet turn 1 or 2.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And you know what? If he didn't build those planes, we might be taking India right now.
But you could say that, but you could also say that this shuck would be one step closer if he did build a North Atlantic fleet. So, half a dozen of this.
Yeah, two turns of Germany just getting slapped around like this extra would just didn't appeal to me. Germany's having a bad day.
It's those 2 soldiers on Gibraltar.
But I moved here with the hope that it would push them off of West Russia and onto Caucasus. So that gives us West Russia, and we can use that to retake Leningrad and get a victory city win with Hawaii. So that's our new plan.
We don't need Hawaii.
Yeah, maybe I should have kept West Russia. That's what I was thinking.
Because I could only think of one way to get you off of West Russia, and that's go to Archangel or go to Cauk. And Cauk is easier to threaten for me. And since we've got like 2 or 3 extra Japanese fighters in the mix, I feel like I can hold about just about anything, whether or not that's actually true.
Do you want me to stick my fighters in Ukraine?
Nah, we don't need them in Ukraine yet. I'm
I didn't think
assuming
so.
I'm going to pivot the stack to West Russia. I want as many fighters as possible that you can dedicate to be able to move to West Russia at the end of this turn.
Understand. Understood.
And it's an easy territory to get to. Like heck, your shit in Buryatia can get there.
Yeah. Problem is these pesky frickin' British troops in Kazakh.
Yeah.
But we can move up and take care of that.
Now imagine what if you didn't trade and take 3 extra units more than you needed, and you had 3 things plus 6 planes that you could trade that back with and punish them for that.
It's the tempting I told you so.
I told you so. God damn it. It's all right.
I'll be right back.
So you're thinking you know what?
I don't.
There is the option to kill 2 fighters and an infantry in Caucasus with my fighters and bomber.
That would actually be really hilarious.
I can do that.
You'd have to land on Ukraine though, and I'm about to leave. So UK
But
would
but
be
you're
poised to
going to bring
counterattack.
in but you're going to leave in the right direction. You're still bringing 8 units into Ukraine, correct?
I'm going to try and bring everything into West Russia, he's going to have a fat stack on Caucasus, so anything I put in Ukraine is
Not-
dead the following turn. Because he's going to have 30 plus units sitting in Cauc, and he can take whatever he needs plus air. So I was thinking the fiver would follow and try and keep me from would retake Belarusia, because he's going to retake Belarusia, stack Caucasus, and I'll need that 5 to retake what was formerly mine and keep my income up.
When you say 5, you're talking about what?
The infantry on Poland. And the tanks on Poland are likely going to have to go west to help retake France because he's bringing 2 anti-air guns with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking about going for Brazil actually instead of Hawaii.
I mean, you could.
That forces his transports a little bit south. And if
It forces one
If
of
he
his
doesn't bring enough-
transports a little bit south. He's got 10
Well-
of them. I
well-
really don't think it's a huge investment.
Well, I understand that, but he has to bring fleet with him too, because I also threatened South Africa as well. So
Yeah, if you go to 21, I think South Africa is probably the play, honestly. Because as soon as you land on 22, whatever's
You've
in
got
that C
7.
zone gets cleared.
and you've got 7 fighters, and you're going to kill the you know, that Russian bomber would have been useful now. Urgh.
He wouldn't have left it
Don't
there
like-
if you still had the Japanese bomber around.
I don't like this. But there's not much I can do, so I'm going to do that, and then move everything forward, pick everything up, keep everything coming west.
Because if you take Hawaii now, then he has to stack something on western U.S. in response.
Yeah, but not much. 3, 4 units, 5.
True.
He's already got 1.
You could also take Australia and your transport's a turn closer to everything that matters.
That's true. That's 1 as opposed to 3, and then potentially 2 is 5. But again, talking about this is not a good idea because it actually allows him to react to it. So this
Yeah,
is,
but-
I don't know if I like these open custom games like this.
But taking Australia now, you're going to have that income for the rest of the game. When you take
Yeah,
Brazil,
that's
you lose it immediately. So
That is
Australia and
tr-
Hawaii are easy money that will compound as the game stretches on.
agreed.
Now I'm wondering why we forgot to take Western Australia. Whoops.
I'm back.
Yeah.
They're on the
sorry,
other
I
side of the
messed
world.
that
No one
up.
really cares about them.
Yeah.
It's
okay. Let's hope we get 2 hits and
That's
keep it.
that's a blitz mistake.
At least for you people, it's not midnight yet.
It's all right. Yeah.
I'm on the
seriously
same time zone you
contemplating
are,
bed
man.
soon.
Same time zone. I'm trying to think if there's some way we can gain an advantage here. There's not yet.
Just depends on where you're talking about when you say here.
Well, I'm looking at the map. I'm not gonna give my.
Well, I can tell you, if you
Corresponding
take your whole Yunnan stack
net
and
notes.
stack Burma, then one, he's going to clear it because he's got that dead zone.
I'm not gonna do that. Well, I wouldn't do that.
If you leave them in Yunnan and just stack extra stuff on top of it, he's going to push forward. Actually,
I know.
no, he's going to
No.
go south to Persia and just block India.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah, we're
lost
good.
another
We're
turn of
good.
progress. It's just a crappy situation for Axis all around, man. So I think something that we should have on our radar is we need to pick up the income. and I think Africa is the obvious slot because we're not going to be able to take Moscow anytime soon.
The income's not going to matter. Germany will be dead by then.
Well, if UK can't
I
place
like
8
that
units
attitude.
on United Kingdom every turn, if they can only place 3 because their income sucks.
Okay. That is an option, but I didn't build a transport this turn, so that's...
Yeah, but they've committed to drop everything and just pray that I lose all my planes to anti-air.
That's a good point. Actually, that is a good point. We could do that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can do that. Does he have a bomber? The UK? Where's the UK bomber?
It's currently sitting on India.
Oh, it is.
Yes, sir.
We gotta send something along with it. But I didn't build a transport. I should have. Okay.
I think for right this moment, you probably just got to keep the shuck on. But I feel like allies have the advantage.
Yeah. Well, the score dictates as much. Actually, we're still technically leading.
By what metric?
Well, by attack power in the game. The game says we're leading. I'll go with it.
It's effectively even at this point. Any attack
And
power advantage we had is mostly nullified.
God damn it, we're leading.
Well,
Allies
I don't
have
know how
a
you guys
very clear
feel about
advantage
this
right
game,
now.
but Frisky, if you're getting really tired, I know you mentioned several times it's late there. Maybe we pick it up next week. The
Yeah.
thrilling conclusion.
I think we can
Well,
finish this round.
Yeah, let me make my
Yeah.
move here, and I'm gonna go. I think if I put 3, 5, and my planes, that would be a bad idea as well. So I could put them all there. 4, 5, plus 6. Getting rid of that allied air actually wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Just don't have a landing spot. Because Ukraine's really just not going to be safe next turn. Unless you'd prefer I just stay on Ukraine. But I was thinking advancing to West Russia would probably be the better decision. But he may have me dead zoned if I got to pull all my tanks back. Because I just don't have enough pieces to press any kind of offensive when he doesn't have to send anything east to contest a larger Japanese stack.
You have odds on West Russia? I don't see it. From Ukraine?
He has to move off of it. They're going to go to Kok.
No, he doesn't have to move off of it.
Then he's just given away 2 UK fighters.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, that.
So the UK fighters signal that they're shifting their stack.
I see what you're saying. Shit, it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. I almost feel like, if he... oh, it's ugly. It's ugly. Where's my creativity when I need it? And I don't have it right now. Drinking.
Creativity only kicks in the purchase phase when you're like, what if I got 4 bombers?
Yeah, it's just not good.
But honestly, guys, that's also the power of the Blitz game. You know, if you had a night to sleep on it and think on it, you would come up with all sorts of interesting ideas. But
That is
pressure
true.
of
I did. I mean, that one
real-time-
game I did sleep on it when I thought that all was lost. I slept on it. I came up with the idea to split everything up and then land the fighters, and actually it worked out great for me. Actually thought of that in my sleep.
That's why I say if you're gonna punch above your weight class, a Blitz game is where it can happen, because mistakes happen.
Well, I don't think anybody's really made any serious mistakes here. I don't think that the game has just gone I mean, it started out good for us, but then the game just flipped its script. I don't think we really did anything wrong. It's just you guys defended well, and the Allies do have the advantage if they play well and they communicate well. It's hard for the Axis to win. I think most top players would admit that. All right. Well, I'm not going to take much longer on this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to settle on taking Burma with 2 infantry, bunch of fighters, and everything on Szechuan. Dare him to take that with his fighters. Got an anti-aircraft, and move everything up. And I was thinking about taking one guy down here, but that would be dumb unless I took the entire fleet with me, which I can do, but then I can't protect the transport, so that's a bad idea. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, can't protect the transports, so can't do that either.
So, to follow up on your point, Beamdog released some stats about the total victories, and I think Axis was at like 53%. And pretty much everyone agreed. I talked to Jan, who's like a top 20 player. He said he prefers Allies, even though at the lower ranks, the Axis just wins way more.
Yeah,
At the higher ranks,
it doesn't take into account the skill level. It just takes overall numbers.
You don't see all this green and brown on red territory in bronze games. You take those green fighters off, Russia, it doesn't exist anymore.
Right. I'm almost looking back and seeing, well, is there anything we could have really done differently? And I don't really.
Yes. No offense, but I think Japan's been very inefficient and basically lost 2 turns of momentum.
How do you figure?
We're going to have a follow-up post commentary.
Yeah, because with the allowing Russia to counterattack on Buryatia by just letting him push his infantry forward into yours. You lost another 3 or 4 infantry there. The extra 2 or 3 artillery on Kazakh. The couple of turns where, oh, maybe I should have bought an extra transport there, because you really did need an extra transport. I think you should go to 5 transports fairly early so that you're able to start taking the extra income in Australia, New Zealand without necessarily sacrificing your logistics in the shuck. The buying fighters and tanks instead of extra infantry is just generally not ideal. Having no threat to Africa even here on round 5, and really not in a position to create a threat to Africa even at the end of here at round 5, means we're definitely losing the income war, and we're not going to reach income parity anytime soon. Because the Japanese fighters, like, you put 6 fighters
don't hold
on
anything
Berlin.
back.
Yeah, you're not going to lose Berlin anytime soon, because you drop 6 Japanese fighters on that, and okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. So Germany just needs to trade fairly efficiently. Ideally, I could have done a little bit better in Africa. If it weren't for that cruiser staying alive, then that one naval battle really did kind of really turn the tide, because that would have gotten Germany a lot more income by being able to not only contest Africa, but take half the continent pretty quickly.
Isn't that so wild how much of the game depended on that C-Zone 14 battleship battle?
That was a very huge role.
You called it. You actually called it.
But I think that combined with a couple other things have put us off our momentum just a little bit, because I don't think we're fundamentally mismanaging the game in any way. I think that the little bit of inefficiency we have is allowing the Allies' income advantage to compound quicker.
Yeah, I agree with that. It didn't feel. I mean, I look back. I bought it round 3, the transport. It didn't feel right around 2 to buy the transport. But I see where you're coming from.
In hindsight, knowing that the majority of your troops that you have on the front line are on the north side, I probably shouldn't have kept with our original plan of going to Ukraine and threatening Kok. I should have probably just stayed on Karelia.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that was going to transpire that way though either. So.
Because I figured you would have more of a concentration down south, because that tends to be the usual flow, as Japan has all their shit down south. But given that it was up north, I think Karelia would have been the better move rather than try to threaten Kok. Because I think
Well,
they,
which I think I think I mentioned that in round 3. I said, generally on a KGF on a Finland Shuck, you want to protect this corridor, right, with the corridor to France, the Berlin, Karelia corridor. And
but I think they wanted to do a med shuck, and that all their fighters were still sitting in Kok, and they were really positioned to get themselves into a strong med shuck. And I think because I went south was part of the reason that they committed to going more of a Finland.
yeah.
And given that I lost the battleship and the transport, because if those were still alive, they're kind of forced into a med shuck because they need to pressure the battleship out of there.
Yeah. Maybe another complex might be in our future.
So my current opinion of the game is that allies have a decisive advantage that they haven't won.
No.
Dice definitely have a lot to say about that. But that if you were to just say, all right, this goes into arbitration right now, I think allies definitely have an edge.
Let me see if I can look at that the same way.
Well, we don't have to arbitrate it. We can pick it up. We can.
Oh, absolutely.
There is the ability to save.
Yeah, well, I mean, it saves automatically. That's the status quo, is you just come back later, and so long
That
as
is
you
true.
don't like kick your
There's
opponents.
there's no time limit on customs games. Is that correct?
There's zero time limit. We
That
could
is
literally
correct, yeah.
just walk away and come back in a week.
I like to look at the board a little bit more and maybe think about some things myself. And I'm pretty good at coming up with stuff,
Yeah,
crazy
but
stuff.
I don't think anyone has made any kind of big mistakes as far as this game goes. But there have been a few critical dice rolls that I think could have really changed things.
Well, Season 14 really changed things a lot.
But
And
I
I was
might
laughing
just
at the
be
time because
fixating
The
on
dice
season
rolls,
14
of course-
because I really
of course
wanted to
dice are
take
gonna
out the
affect
cruiser.
it.
Because that opened the med shock, which took me out of France,
Yeah.
But then again, I could have positioned my fighters better so that I didn't need to. I could have had 2 extra fighters in that battle regardless. But I didn't. Because I went for Cock too early. And then lost that fight. Because I was going to clear both Russian fighters and that went miserable. What was the result of that? Because that was round 1, right? Yeah, Soviet Union held on. Defenders lost 2 anti-air, 2 infantry. Germany retreated with 1 tank, 3 fighters. Attackers lost 1 infantry, 1 artillery, and 2 tanks. If I were to run that calc, 1 infantry, 1 artillery, I had 3 tanks.
He's still building
and
transports.
I had 3 fighters. You had 2 anti-air. You had 4 infantry and 2 fighters, and that was it. So my actual odds of winning that felt better than they were. That was actually a 50% battle.
This was the point when we were all cocky and nobody was using calculators. Remember that?
Yeah. So as far as a calculator goes, that original fight on Cock was a bad idea that put Germany on the back foot for the rest of the game.
And I might have set you off because I do remember, if I recall correctly, I believe I said to you that by the eye, it looks like you got a 65% chance of winning that.
It's more like a 51.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what probably didn't help.
And 49 if you run the
65.
calculator more than once.
What's the difference?
Which involves me losing at least 1 fighter and successfully capturing that. So that was actually a really bad fight for me to take. So turn 1 was a flop.
If you would have got it, though, they would have changed the entire outcome of the game, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I won that coin flip, then Russia's just fucked. They wouldn't have their fighters this whole game. They can't trade.
Right.
Russia literally
No, they
couldn't
can't.
trade.
Absolutely. The game looks entirely different.
So that's just one reason that I try to avoid any kind of high-risk play on turn 1. Like, I hate attacking Ukraine just because, that whatever happens here is going to ripple through everything.
That's why custom games are so much fun.
what you guys are talking about is the butterfly effect, and that really is what makes Axis and Allies such a great game.
I
The
agree.
tiniest battle in a random territory changes everything.
It's a beautiful application of nonlinear dynamics and chaos theory. I agree.
Risk management, chaos theory, yeah.
I took a class on this shit.
That also superimposes on game theory too. Like when you delve deep into that.
I'm
I mean,
sorry,
the
hold on, guys.
essential.
Dolphin, are you holding transports back from Canada?
Yeah, what I want to do is leave 1 artillery, 1 infantry in Canada, and be ready to attack France with 20 units.
Oh, I thought you were leaving at least 2 back because you wanted to drop 2 anti-air this turn.
Yeah, I also need to drop 2 anti-air.
At least 1 AA.
Yeah. I think
Well,
I'll
if
drop
I
2.
take it, I'm taking it with force. So
No, don't drop 2 because it's going to fall, and we're going to want it the AA for the next cycle.
they're gonna get their shots.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter when the anti-aircraft hit, as long as they hit.
Okay, if you want one of the AA there, then I can
I'm sorry,
leave
I
the
don't want to
AA.
say what you do. I think you're doing a great job. I just think
Yeah,
it's
no
more,
problem.
it's more efficient.
You're doing super.
It's more efficient to get 2 AA uses instead of just a single AA use.
That's fine. I can do that. 5 units. I like that better anyway. Okay.
Oh, guys, hey, quick question. When I post
Mhm.
this, where should I post the video? Should I post it in videos or in this thread?
Videos.
Do both.
Okay.
Who cares?
If you post
So,
video, you post it in
I've
videos.
forgotten like 5 times that we're actually recording this, just so you know. I don't know what has been said.
My
you
encoders
posted
are
in
probably
videos, yeah.
overloaded to
Yeah,
shit.
You
I
may,
mean,
you may have to edit some comic parts out.
I think, right now it's a 4-hour video, but you could edit it down to 2 hours if you just did some creative trimming and not really miss anything.
Mm-hmm.
There were definitely long
That's true.
bouts of silence here and there.
I was just gonna say there was was quite a bit of that. Well, now you're asking me to like be a producer and all that stuff and an editor. I mean, oh my god, I'm
Well,
just starting out on this YouTube stuff.
For 4 hours of raw footage, you wouldn't bother. So if I'm recording my own games, like let's say the just the placement game I put up, that one I did a little bit of editing on, and
Yeah.
basically it's like, okay, before I bother recording my turn, let me have a good idea of what I'm probably gonna do.
Well, I've done that, but I've done that on the fly, so in real time. I pause the video and then I think about what I want to do, and then I unpause the video. So I sort of make a conscious real-time edit as opposed to a physical edit.
It works too.
Frisky, can I just say I watched your video and I actually learned a lot from it. I thought it was a great video.
The placement game?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the 1v1 game.
Oh, with a person who was talking back?
Yeah.
Okay,
Cav.
that was Casterav.
Yeah, that was I really liked.
Played as you go. There was a lot of value I got.
I like the delivery. I like the delivery of the entire video. It was very casual, but yet friendly, but yet competitive at the same time. I like that.
Because that's basically this game, is, we're just talking through our turns as we're playing.
Right.
But we're a little more competitive. I love that tank survived. That is beautiful.
That's the nature of duos, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, overall, if I were to look at the
having
board,
a teammate.
if I were to look at the board, I would say probably the Allies have the advantage, but it's a slight advantage. I'm not going to give them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they
the
flat
game.
out win.
I wouldn't give them the game yet. No, I wouldn't give them the game yet.
I mean, you guys are winning.
They're in pretty good shape.
And I mean, yes, Japan was slowed down, but they're not going anywhere.
Germany's still got 50 troops on the board. Like that's and all of their planes, I might add. So like,
yes,
Germany's in good shape.
That's where the dice are going to come in. There's going to be one big battle somewhere.
There's going to be one battle here in about 10 minutes on France where you get 6 out of 6 anti-air hits.
Yes.
Oh, there's
that's
only one AA gun.
3 out of 3. Even more
Don't forget
likely.
to change your profile to AA gun first.
Yeah, it's always that.
AA gun first is
Really?
a common
Always.
default
Yeah.
for folks, because I take the philosophy that if you're attacking a territory that I've put an anti-air gun in, or really from the defensive perspective, if I put an anti-air gun in a territory, most of the time
Hold
I'm
on.
not
I'm
expecting
sorry,
to
hold on.
lose it.
Dolphin, are you putting those 2 Finland infantry to Norway to move them later? Don't you think they get more value in Karelia where you could trade, where you have those American planes?
Because we can potentially continue
I know what
to
he's thinking. Yeah.
continue to pressure France.
He also likes having the ability to threaten to drop Berlin every turn, and always having 2 units on UK and always having 2 units
Okay.
on Finland means he can just swing by and pick
Yeah,
up
Well,
4 extra guys.
couldn't you
That's
get
the
that
smarter
same
play.
pressure? Couldn't you get that same pressure by moving those Americans back to Morocco?
In Algeria, they're fine.
My point is, if you move them to Morocco, then the Finland units can go to Karelia, where they will have more utility because the U.S. planes can use them. Great.
Um,
Yeah,
Am I
you get the
wrong?
same use out of the same transports without necessarily taking your Finland guys out of position.
well, it's a more pressure on France this way, but I guess I don't know. Maybe it's enough.
This is United States
Um,
saying the only thing that matters right now is France.
I guess my point is, if you put the 2 dudes in Karelia with the U.S. planes
Yeah.
from Caucasus, they can do some very good and interesting trading. Where if you
Yeah.
don't put, where you know,
He's just
Yeah,
setting
that's
himself
true.
up so that instead of only 5 transports, he'll have 8 transports that's able to hit France next turn, so that if I try to stack it heavy, a 1-2 punch will be able to completely wipe out whatever Germany puts down. So if I just move in 22 infantry and 2 artillery and 3 tanks, he can still comfortably clear that, given that if he does move those things west, because then he'll have 8 full transports of ground units, plus the battleship bombard, plus all the fighters, which he may or may not even decide that he wants to put all the U.S. fighters in Cork. He might just leave them in Karelia or something, just so that they're still able to hit France.
Fact.
Yeah, because that
Let's
was
see.
one reason he was trying to persuade you to keep all the UK fighters back, is because India is kind of a long shot as is, and he really wants to put those U.S. fighters somewhere else because he's got no ground units to trade them with.
But I mean,
They're so useless using 4 fighters to take out 1 infantry every turn.
8. We have 24.
He's doing math now. Look out.
Yeah.
Shit's about to get real.
um.
I am enjoying the German industrial bomb from 2 turns ago still having an effect.
Oh yeah.
I bet you are.
I can't afford to fix it. I literally can't afford to fix it.
We plus 25. That's
So I'm torn. West Russia is kind of where I wanted to move, but I think it would be so much funnier if I just took the Ukraine stack, went back to Belorussia, and then took everything on Berlin, ignored France, and just went to Baltic states, and then put 40 infantry on Karelia.
Um, I was actually thinking that, and about 10 minutes ago, and um, I'm surprised you actually said that out loud.
Because if he's not stacking France all that heavy, he's only putting a couple of guys there.
Five,
Mm,
5 planes, 25, 30, 34, 38, 30. Yeah. I think, all right, let's move 2 US fighters to Corelli. Or Norway.
I should just stop talking to you.
Great suggestion.
You probably just ran the calc on cock and said, "Oh, nah, I don't need to take the fighters."
No, I actually did the counting, and my counting is that even if
You
you
outnumber
even
my
if you just
infantry like 3-2, no problem. I don't think I stand any chance of taking cock from you, even if it's only red units on it.
okay.
I'm gonna run that calc real quick to see what if Russia was the only one defending Caucasus? What's your odds? I'm pretty sure it's basically guaranteed.
it's close.
Is it actually close?
Um, yeah, he can't. He's not going to be able to use any guys from Russia proper.
Oh, he can, no problem.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think he cares about trading with red guys. He's using UK to do his dirty work for him, and he's going to be placing all his units on Russia anyway. UK can land fighters, US can land fighters. He's not losing Moscow. So with only red
But
guys, I've got 40% chance to take. If you put literally every single red unit on Caucasus, then I'm at 40%. You send 5 infantry into the backfield. Now I'm 85%. 2 friendly fighters helping puts me at 50-50. And 3 friendly fighters helping with 5 infantry in the backfield. It's back to 40% for me. Keep those 5 infantry up front with 3 friendly fighters helping. And we're talking about 95% chance to hold. That means I should go for it, right?
Is that good? Is 95 good?
95 is not 100. I've played XCOM. I know how this goes.
Oh, I love Exion.
well, if it was in a naval battle, I would agree with you. But on a land battle, the odds are typically pretty good.
Well, at
I
that
mean,
point, I mean, you're literally talking 70, 80 pieces involved in the fight. When you have that many dice, you're actually
yeah.
gonna get fairly close to expected value. You get swings, but they're not the bigger swings that you might expect.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that on the land battles, the calculator I trust. On the sea battles, the calculator I have no trust in whatsoever. I use it as a general idea. Let's
But
just put it
I've
that way.
lost that fight before. I had a Kill Japan first that was just going incredibly smooth, and I was in a similar situation where Japan, the only thing I hadn't taken was Tokyo, and Germany was fucked, and they had a maybe 2 or 3% chance to just all in and capture Moscow. And I abandoned Caucasus because I was like, I don't. All I have to do is live one more turn and I win the game. And
Right.
so I just put every single man, woman, and child on Moscow with every single other allied fighter. And I was like 98% to hold. And he went for it because he had no other choice. It's like, well, if Germany doesn't take Moscow, then that's just the game. So he went for it and he won. But not only did he won and didn't lose any of his tanks or planes. And so he actually rampaged through and won the game from there. That one battle took virtually every allied piece off the board except for the United States fleet in the Pacific.
Mm.
And there's just no coming back. So you can get a Hail Mary. It's possible.
Oh no, I know.
I hate
It's
losing
just
games
this.
like that, but I love winning
Yeah.
games like that. And this
Yeah,
can be
because
that
your
game.
opponent's smacking on his keyboard and smacking it against his head, and he's breaking his monitor, and he's doing
This can be the
everything.
game where Germany goes for it and gets it when they really just don't deserve it.
I'm okay with that.
Because, you know, if I go for Caucasus right now and I take it,
It's a
that's
big shift because the Japanese have
that's
everything coming their way.
huge.
He has to shift focus entirely.
No,
Germany can come.
because UK's actually got a lot of ground in range. 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 fighters, another bomber, another tank. He could bring another tank that blitzes through West Russia. 5, 6, 7. So he's got 7 ground units, 3 fighters, 1 bomber. I think even if UK can't win the fight, they'd still just suicide it before Japan reinforces with fighters. But would that give us enough momentum? Let's suppose I had to lose all my fighters to do it. If you were to just clear that whole Russian stack off, do you think
Well, my
Japan
fighters
can
are-
finish off Moscow, or are the reinforcements too strong?
I think I have 7, 6, 7, 6.
Because the Shuk is real right now, and I'm curious
6.
whether the stuff on Karelia is going to be trying to go Baltic states, or if it's just going to go east to Archangel, just to contest
Honestly,
Japan directly.
If I'm being honest, with Kent and Jake, I think abandoning the Finland Shuk was actually a mistake.
I
Because
think I think keeping the Finland Shuk on would have been the better decision, my opinion.
Yeah.
Because
That's what I'm saying, and that's all I'm saying. I'm
working.
not saying that what they're doing is a bad idea. I'm just saying that I think that you maybe abandon it maybe one turn too soon.
They got better income with what they're doing right now, though. And you're forcing Germany to trade. You're forcing me to give up a lot of pieces to do this.
Plus, Russia's risking the the fact that when they have multiple battles like this, they can lose 1 or 2 of these battles.
They could. The other play would be for me to snipe one of those survivors and you just tank blitz Moscow.
Yeah.
But UK's got tanks in blitzing range all over the place, so he's just going to clear with fighters and drop a tank there, or drop a fighter there.
He's only got 2 tanks. And the 4 infantry and the artillery, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think there's enough multinational ground that we can't cheese it. Wish we could.
This is how Yan plays. He's very good at. If I was going to say one thing about Yan as a player, tactically, strategically, he's brilliant. He's a brilliant player. Is that he's very, very good at logistics. I would say Matistinik and Julius are also very good that way too. I think that was one of the things that frustrated us, Kent, if you remember.
Mhm.
Logistically, they were always one step ahead. It seemed like they were always one step ahead of us.
They don't lose a turn to having a transport out of position. They don't.
Right. Exactly.
They know exactly how many transports they're going to need where, and how many ground they need to build to keep them filled. And they're not going to have a turn where they just have a transport sitting in a C zone doing nothing because, oh shit, I didn't actually have anyone to put in them.
Right, but we did in our defense. We actually did beat Yan and Davinator, so that was a plus.
That's tough.
Yeah, we did beat them. Actually, we beat everybody in the round robin. I think we went 8-0 in the round robin. There were people in Discord saying the championship should be, Matt's and us. I think Matt started out the tournament with ATSQ, SKU, and then he switched to Julius because AT couldn't finish. Is that right, Kent?
Askew, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, did he? Yeah, he started the tournament with Askew, right?
We'll let him finish his turn. We'll not distract him too
27.
much.
Why not distract him?
27, 31.
Because this needs
31.
to end.
That's true. It is getting late on the East Coast.
We can save it. We can do it
Yeah,
next week.
I was just letting Russia finish its turn.
31 plus 2. Yeah, 31 plus 5, 36.
Once I have the
Mhm.
initiative, I was just gonna drop the mic and be like, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Yeah, we can sleep on it. I'm totally okay with that.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Jake, what is your level? I mean, you're a gold level, you said?
No, I'm threading the needle between silver and gold, but I've only been playing for 2 months, so I
Oh no,
feel
you're a better
I
player than silver.
feel
Just from
on
listening to
the
your
ascension.
dialogue tonight. Just from listening to your dialogue tonight, you're thinking the right way. You're looking at the board logically in the correct ways.
It's
Yep.
just because
If
you've
you're
done
only
so
silver
much
right now, it's
education
only a
with your
matter of
video
time.
series, man.
It's only a matter of time before you get to gold and platinum.
Well, I
Just like,
appreciate you saying that, but a lot of it is what I learned from you guys watching your videos.
oh, thanks.
How dare you
So,
broadcast your knowledge? Just make everyone a better opponent.
what I'm hoping out of this is that people see how fun it is to play live, and that there's a
Yeah, it
more
is
Yeah.
fun.
larger community of playing live
Yeah.
because it is
Both
different.
both
It's a
this
different game.
both this and the game with Castarav remind me how cumbersome it can be, though, because it's like when I was playing the physical board game, it's like, you really want to set aside 8 hours right now?
Yeah, I just remember
Yeah.
setting up all the pieces, and then inevitably, when you got a big stack and you're trying to move it like through a small C zone, and you see there's all the little tokens underneath it.
My dad starts moving fighters 6 or 7 spaces because he doesn't remember where they started the turn.
You're not good. Okay.
He'll double move shit like it was Risk.
Risk.
Don't I get an
I
extra
remember
free
Risk.
move at the end of my turn?
I love the
is
game
like
of
the gateway
Risk.
drug. It's a gateway drug, right? You play Risk, and
Yeah.
then you sort of advance to
Yeah,
extra
it was. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's sort of a high school level type play game, right? And then and then your buddy it's just like when you're listening to music and your buddy introduces you to your first album of Rush, like 2112, and you're like, what? Like,
Well,
they were
Risk.
Yeah,
making this kind of they were
necessarily
making
so.
this music in the 70s. I mean, with no digital, nothing, no computers. I mean, how were they doing this?
Dark Side of the Moon turned 49 yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's another album that blew my mind when I was a kid, a teenager,
Because
a wee
it,
lad.
that was the time, the early 70s, is when they started getting really good at recording, like the techniques of recording.
Yeah.
I think Risk just suffers the same Kingmaker problem that any free-for-all strategy game has.
Yeah.
Just inevitably, you're going to be in a position where you can't win, but you can choose who does.
Well, I would disagree. I think there is a strategy to winning Risk.
As said every Risk player ever in the history of Risk.
let me tell you,
I'd agree that
let me
there
tell
are
you
optimum plays, but
let me tell you the
it has
strategy
a
to
low
winning
skill
Risk.
ceiling.
You put one massive army in Asia, and you trade 1 unit a turn, and you do not waste any units, and you save your cards until you get all 5 cards, and then you unload.
I would
Yeah,
agree.
well, that's
Tried and
pretty
true
much
method.
everybody thought that way. Yeah.
And the
Do
reason you
not
do
try,
Asia
do
is
not try and
because
go
you
for
never hold a
continent.
continent,
No,
so you're never the first
right.
target.
Most people try to hold. So I don't think everyone does think that. The instinct is to get that continent.
Yeah, because the second you take a continent, now you're everybody's target. All right, screw you guys, I'm done.
All right.
Well,
Let's
I
call it here.
appreciate
Hey,
it.
well, hey, listen.
I really
Wait.
appreciate it.
Before we go, I'd like to thank Air Dolphin
Uh-huh.
and Jake for coming on, aka Shakey, and also, of course, FriskyCow.
Moved.
And wait, Frisky, what's your first name again?
Zach.
Zach. That's my son's name. And
Cute.
remember, because I am recording this, I don't know if you guys are recording this, but I am recording this. I am going to post. I have your permission to post this, guys. You guys are okay with this?
Yeah.
If you can
Yeah, I'm
convince
fine.
someone to watch 4.5 hours of Axis and Allies among
Yeah.
casual people, then more power to you, brother. Monetize
Well, I
the
think
video.
when I was first starting out, I would have craved a video like this
Totally.
because
I totally agree. Totally.
because you're seeing top level play and thinking it, talking it out, and even telling your opponents, "Oh, we should do this." I mean, we're literally just putting our cards on the table. There's no hiding or there's no secrecy. There's just
Such is the nature
it's
of
just
many board games.
Exactly, basically. So I thank you guys for allowing me to record this, and I will post this as soon as it takes process, which will probably be till tomorrow morning or something like
It'll be
that.
sometime Sunday or Monday at this rate.
You should honestly
Right.
should probably break it up into 2 parts.